The Democrats' new favorite word just came out, and it's chaos.
We begin this hour with the chaos.
The average American sees chaos. The American people see chaos.
It's total chaos.
You brought chaos.
It's just complete chaos.
Unleashed an economic chaos.
They unleash chaos.
They are creating chaos.
This chaos.
There's too much chaos.
Total chaos.
That amidst the chaos,
I'm going to see chaos.
After seeing all the chaos,
the chaos he has unleashed on America.
Continue to see the chaos.
Economic chaos.
A lot more chaos.
Trump's chaos.
This is chaos with such chaos.
The chaos because of this chaos. Chaos.
All of this chaos.
Uncertainty and chaos.
Given all that chaos.
When it's chaos.
All the chaos. Chaos and confusion grow.
It's more chaos, dysfunction.
The chaos is the purpose. The chaos is the goal.
It's chaos.
So the left argues that tariffs are bringing chaos while businesses and workers disagree. Senator Cory Booker embarrasses himself as he makes baseless claims against the Trump administration, and Stephen A. Smith gives a shocking reason as to why he's left with no choice but to run for president in 2028. Now, I got all of that and a ton of other things that we need to talk about today, so let's go and get right into it. So starting with what Democrats do best, that is to backstab their own once they start to have a difference of opinion. Because the idea is you can't change your mind once you support the left. This is exactly why Democrats hate the likes of Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., and Elon Musk. And now they're adding UAW President Shawn Fain to that list. Now, just to remind you guys, this was him last year.
Which side are you on? On one side, you got a billionaire that serves himself and his billionaire buddies. He lies, he cheats, and he steals his way to the top. He's a lapdog for the billionaire class. And on the other side, we got a strong, intelligent, and I'm just going to put it bluntly, a badass woman. And I got to finish that sentence. A badass woman who stood on the picket line with striking workers. A leader who opposed free trade deals that have devastated the working class in this country. A leader who takes on corporate greed and wins. Kamala Harris is a champion for the working class. And like all great leaders, Kamala Harris knows it's not all about her. It's about the people.
Urgent warning, guys. The job market is collapsing. The economy is shrinking fast. Layoffs are skyrocketing. The Trump tariffs are already shaking industries. The media won't tell you this, but most high-paying jobs, they're disappearing. And the ones that do remain, they're soon going to be out of reach. But here's the good news, guys. I've put together a list of 30-plus jobs that pay around $100,000 per year without a degree. These are recession-proof jobs, and some are even set to explode in demand thanks to this economic shakeup. No college degree required, no student debt, just real jobs that pay. But I promise, guys, this list is not going to be available forever. So get it right now. Get it before these jobs are flooded by the competition. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down below so you can get your free list of the 30-plus jobs that pay over $100,000 without a college degree. So download this list before it's too late. So Fain has obviously changed his mind about President Trump. He even thanked him for the tariffs that he's implementing because it would bring back jobs to the United States, which is just part of the bigger plan to make the country self-sufficient again. But since he changed his mind, Democrats within the legacy media have now put a target on his back.
You know, let's talk about the realities of what, you know, and this is saying, you know, I've been reading a lot of this lately. Going back, in 1992, I voted for Ross Perot. You know why I voted for Ross Perot? For one reason, because he was the only candidate that talked about how devastating NAFTA would be to American jobs and to our manufacturing base. And he talked about that giant sucking sound. You know, I've read this book here in the last week, you know, Save your job, save our country. Why NAFTA must be stopped now. You know what's interesting? Since then, Ross Perot's become a prophet. Since NAFTA was inception in 1993, we've lost 90,000 manufacturing facilities in this country, millions of jobs. And these weren't, you know, low-end jobs. These were jobs that paid decent wages, had good benefits, retirement security.
No, I agree with you.
They built communities.
But here's my thing.
But here's the deal.
NAFTA was 30 years ago. The situation that we are dealing with right now, and I agree with you. I'm on the side of the folks that said this did the American workers wrong. Absolutely. But right now, we are dealing with a situation where it's not these are blanket tariffs. We are dealing with a situation where manufacturing is not going to come back in 2 weeks. So I am really struggling to understand how UAW has aligned itself with Trump on this.
Well, and I think more specifically, Mr. Fame, just real quick on that point, how do tariffs create jobs?
So first off, NAFTA is still causing us to lose jobs in this country.
That's true.
Our broken trade system is still causing us to lose jobs in this country. And no one from either party has been willing to even address the issue for 30 plus years. That's the first thing. And we support tariffs as a tool in the toolbox, not the end-all be-all. We got to fix the broken trade system. But tariffs are a motivator to make these companies do the right thing. When we're talking auto, I can't speak for, penguins and all this other crazy stuff going on, but I'll speak to what I know. And, when we talk about parts, there's an exclusion for parts sector right now. The reason there's an exclusion is because we've been talking with the administration about how to make these tariffs work, and they've been working with us on that.
Isn't it strange how legacy media is now coming after him after what he's done for their party? And what he's explaining is not rocket science. President Trump is working with them to bring back manufacturing jobs to our country, and that implementing tariffs is one part of the equation. Now, here's the thing, guys. Democrats aren't really against the goals of this administration. They've talked about bringing back jobs to the country. They've talked about downsizing the government. They've talked about securing our borders. So they support what President Trump's doing. Problem is President Trump himself. They don't like him. And that reason alone has them going against everything that he's doing. And hey guys, I keep getting messages from you guys, comments saying, hey Ron, I keep missing your videos. I keep missing the breaking news. Can you please make sure I get notified? So I've taken care of you guys. All you got to do is hit the link in the description down below this video or in the pinned comment and join the breaking news newsletter. That's it. Totally free. And they're not above lying to the American people either. Just watch how Senator Cory Diapers Booker reacted when he was confronted about baseless allegations against the president. And just so you guys know, he's being called that because he ranted for more than 24 hours in the Senate without going to the bathroom. Now, Booker wants us to believe that these tariffs are being done so that the people within the Trump administration can make some money.
Do you believe that Democrats have any real evidence that anyone in the administration profited off of the president's policies and announcements, or is this just a fishing expedition?
Here's the problem with Donald Trump and congressional Republicans is our whole system was designed to have checks and balances. Now, Trump has designed an administration like none we've ever seen before. He is attacking the very agencies that are supposed to have independent oversight of these kind of actions. So we see him hiring people based upon their loyalty, not based upon their expertise. The real group that should be holding investigations and accountability and even just oversight is Congress.
But is there any evidence, Senator? Do you think there's any evidence that anyone profited off of these tariffs?
There is enough of an offense here. There's enough smoke here that should demand congressional hearings. We are a separate and equal branch of government. The Constitution lays out very clearly that Congress is not supposed to be spineless and submissive. It is supposed to hold up oversight over the president. These are real, legitimate, justifiable questions, and not to have hearings, not to do any kind of oversight undermines the faith we have in our government, undermines the trust we need in our nation right now. And so from the signal gate all the way to this kind of symbols or signs of corruption, Congress should be doing its job.
So he's trying to insinuate insider trading within the Trump administration. But where was this energy as Nancy Pelosi made millions of dollars off the stock market? She and her husband, Paul Pelosi, are allegedly so good at stock trading that there's literally a Nancy Pelosi stock tracker. I can't make this stuff up. But of course, this wasn't enough smoke for Booker, right? This is the kind of leadership within the left that has the party looking to Stephen A. Smith to run in 2028. And despite the likes of AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Bernie Sanders, and others claiming leadership, Stephen A. Smith says that it's just something that he absolutely has to do.
I saw you mentioned Bill Maher. I saw Steve Bannon was on with Bill Maher, and he was asked what Democrats he worries about. And the only name he mentioned as a Democrat he'd be worried about. So are you really thinking about running for president? Is this something you think?
Listen, I've been. I have no choice because I've had elected officials, and I'm not going to give their names, elected officials coming up to me. I've had folks who are pundits come up to me. I've had folks that got a lot of money, billionaires and others, that have talked to me about exploratory committees and things of that nature. I'm not a politician. I've never had a desire to be a politician. I just signed a contract extension with ESPN. I am very, very
pretty
happy
good one too
with my day job. I'm very happy with my bosses. It's a pretty damn good one. Just right. It's a pretty damn good contract. I couldn't be happier. But here's the reality. People have walked up to me, including my own pastor, for crying out loud, who has said to me, you don't know what God has planned for you. At least show the respect to the people who believe in you, who respect you, who believe that you can make a difference in this country, to leave the door open for any possibilities 2 to 3 years down the line. And that's what I've decided to do.
I guess a lot of people like Stephen Smith enough to push him for a presidential run. Although I'm guessing that people like AOC and Bernie Sanders wouldn't be too happy with that. But since we're talking about elections, I want to redirect you guys to a recent live stream that I did. Now, I talked about how Democrats are completely pissed off about voters having to provide an ID. Now, you're not going to believe the reasons that they've been giving, especially the one from Congressman Jasmine Crockett. So anyway, make sure you guys check that out. As always, appreciate your time. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. See you next time.